Hello everyone. So today we are gonna presentate about security requirement engineering framework for business process management. But before we start, we like to introduce ourselves. My name is Akmal Fitra.
My name is Lintang Aulia.
My name is Alif Panandrang.
Okay, so the first slide is gonna be explained by Lintang.
Okay. First is about security requirement engineering framework. This framework aids in identifying and analyze security requirement in the development of information system using business process model and notation or BPMN. It enables security needs to be tracked early in development to prevent future threats. Purpose: establish a structured approach to proactively address security needs, aligning with industry standard. Core components. First is asset identification. Recognize valuable data, system, and process to protect. Second is threat identification. Analyzing potential threats that could exploit vulnerabilities. The third is vulnerability assessment. Identifying identifying weakness in the system that could be exploited. And next is adaptation to security standard. The framework is compatible with major security standard, helping organizations build robust and compliant security policies. And for the case study, manufacturing industry in manufacturing. This framework was applied to secure shop floor process, successfully identifying critical security needs and mitigating vulnerabilities. Next slide will be explained by Akmal.
Okay, so I'm gonna explain about BPMN for security modeling. The first is why we need security extension in BPMN. The first is confidentially ensuring sensitive data in protected from unauthorized access and integrity, maintaining the accuracy and completeness of data. The third is availability, guaranteeing that system and data are accessible when needed. And fourth is non-repudiation, preventing parties from denying their action. And the fifth is authentication, verifying the identity of user and system. And six is authorization, controlling access to resource based on user roles and permission. Next is understanding BPMN and its limitation in security modeling. First is introduce BPMN as a standard for modeling business process. Second is discuss how BPMN standard symbols are not sufficient for representing security specific needs, such as vulnerability, threats, or control. And next is mechanism for adding security symbol to BPMN. First is describe how additional symbol and annotation can be integrated into BPMN diagram to represent security concern. And second is include example of new symbol or notation that can be introduced, such as indicator for access control, description, and threat detection. Next slide. The benefit of extending BPMN for stakeholder communication. First is explain how the security extend BPMN improve communication across stakeholders by providing a unified view of both business process and security requirement. Second is highlight how this extension helps in aligning security measure with business objective and improve risk assessment and compliance. Next is example of extended BPMN element indicating security control. First is provide example of BPMN element that have been extended to reflect specific security control, like secure data handling, authentication check, and threat response mechanism. Second is discuss how this element work in real scenario to illustrate business process with security control embedded. Next slide. So next is threat-based security requirement allocation. First is definition of the threat-based approach. First is introduce the concept of threat-based approach in security, where security measures are determined by the types of level of threat an organization or system is likely to face. Second is explain how threat-based security requirements differ from other approach by using on threat assessment rather than generic security measure. Next is step in threat identification. First is describe the key step for identifying threat, including recognizing asset, analyzing vulnerability, and identifying potential attacker. Second is discuss tool and method commonly used in threat identification, such as threat modeling, attack trees, and risk analysis technique. And next is example of common threat in information system. First is provide example of typical threat in information system, such as malware, phishing, denial of service, insider threat, and data breach. Second is discuss how each type of threat might impact system objective, data integrity, or user privacy. Next slide. Next slide is case study threat profile application in financial service organization. The first one is threat identification. The organization begin by identifying potential threats specific to its financial service operation. This involves collaboration across departments, including IT, cybersecurity, compliance, and risk management to ensure the comprehensive perspective. Second is threat impact analysis. The next step is analyze the potential impact of each identified threat on the organization objective, customer, and reputation. By calculating both likelihood and the potential impact, the organization prioritizes threats to address those that pose the most significant risk. Next is developing security requirement based on threat profile, which with a clear understanding of prioritizing threat, the organization defines specific security requirement and measure tailored to mitigation the identified risk. Key measures include phishing defense, malware protection, and DDoS mitigation. And last is implementation and monitoring. After developing the security requirement, the organization move forward with implementing the specific security measure. Key steps include one is deployment of security solution. The organization integrate MFA, DDoS protection, and malware detective system across its platform. And second is staff training and awareness program. To ensure these measurements are effective, the organization conduct regularly cybersecurity training session, helping staff stay vigilant about potential phishing and or insider threat. And the third is continuous monitoring. The organization set up monitoring system to continuously assess the environment for emerging threat or weakness, enabling rapid response to suspicious activity. And next slide is gonna be explained by Alif Panarang.
Okay, so now is risk assessment and prioritization in security requirement. These frameworks helps organization assess and prioritize security needs based on risk. Steps include analyzing risk, setting priorities, and developing mitigation action. So first is risk analysis purpose. Identify key assets to protect and measure potential impact of threats. Second, assessment steps and tools. Identify and assess threats using tools like risk matrices, rate impact and likelihood to prioritize high-risk areas, security prioritization example, resource focus on areas with the highest risk and impact. And this is the diagram of risk assessment and prioritization in security requirement, as you can see. Next slide. So next is continuous security requirement evaluation and evolution. Continuous evaluation keeps security needs relevant amid changes in business or technology. Importance of ongoing evaluation. Adapts security to new threats and system changes. Second is evaluation methods. Regular reviews, real-time monitoring, and security audits. Third is impact of environmental changes. Adjust security as technology and business evolve. And this is also the continuous security requirements evaluation and evolution cycle. Next slide.
Next is case study, security requirement application in manufacturing. Toyota Motor Corporation, a global leader in automotive manufacturing, relies heavily on data-driven process and advanced automation. With increased integration of cloud and cloud computing on the production floor, the company needs a robust security approach to protect its manufacturing process against data breaches, cyber threats, and operational disruption. Framework application. Toyota adapt the security requirement engineering framework to identify key security assets, including load sensor, robotic production schedule, and cloud-based ERP system. The second is assess security threats. The framework helps Toyota analyze potential threats such as unauthorized data access, malware infiltration, and equipment tampering. The third is mitigate vulnerabilities, specific control such as enhanced access management, encryption, and network monitoring, were implemented based on the identify threats and vulnerabilities. And for outcome and benefit, first is increase operational security, improve monitoring and response capabilities, reduce downtime from potential threats. The second is enhance compliance and risk management. Toyota align its security measure with standard like ISO, meeting global compliance requirement. The last is sustainable security practice. The framework iterative approach allow Toyota to continuously adapt security measures as the threat evolved, ensuring long-term protection.
Okay, so that is all from our group. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.